I'm in Salad and I saw The Penguin episode 1 After Hours. It is directed by Craig Zobel, written by Lauren LaFranc, and if you haven't seen this episode, I will spoil it for you. This series takes place after the Batman movie. Check out my review on the Batman, by the way, if you haven't. But watch this review first. Carmine Falcone has been assassinated. The opening scene is Oz stealing from Falcone. Alberto Falcone, who is the son of Carmine Falcone. He catches him. He's like, "What you doing, Oz?" And Oz like, "I can't just say I'm stealing from you." So you know what Oz does? Pow! Very impulsive. Going into this first episode, with all the marketing being Tony Soprano-ish, I was like, okay, this is gonna be a Tony Soprano. Immediate character deviation. He's impulsive. Very impulsive. And he's very low, like low on the totem pole. He was talking to Alberto, "Yo, I want to become one of those mob bosses. I want to be a gangster. I want to be high up." And you know what Alberto does? He's like, "Ha ha ha, you can't do it, fool, you suck. You don't got the bloodline. You got that club foot. That means you ain't gonna be a mobster, yo." And he's like, "I ain't accepting that as an answer. No." Immediately I like Oz. Oz is a cool character. Obviously having a problem on his hands, he has to get rid of the body, and so he's driving around, vroom, 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 vroom. He has to establish an alibi. He goes to his hooker/escort friend, and he's like, "Yo, can you alibi for me?" And she's like, "Okay, please, don't involve me in it, but sure, I guess, okay." You know what's interesting? I like how this first episode shows both sides of Oz. It shows his soft side. He has softness towards people that he likes, such as the stripper that he has an alibi for. But he also shows the hardness of him. As he goes outside and there's a bunch of teenagers stealing his hubcaps. I've had a hubcap stolen from me. Why one hubcap? I don't know. Why steal hubcaps? I guess Oz has particularly nice hubcaps because it gets stolen. But they all run away except for this one guy. This one guy stutters. Particularly stutters in the first interaction with Oz. I like how immediately this kid, his name's Victor, and Oz have some sort of dynamic going. Oz has to put up the front that he's the boss, so he goes extra hard on Victor, and Victor's like scared. I honestly think that the stutter thing is very psychological. I mean, I've never had a stutter before, but I have noticed that whenever Victor is speaking with confidence, he has less of a stutter than when he's anxious. It's also feelings-based too. Oz doesn't immediately kill Victor. He's instead like, "I'm gonna give you a chance." Victor's like, "All right." I like immediately seeing Victor. He is definitely a dude lost in his life and he's doing whatever he can for money. And he has aspirations to climb the ladder, the social, the financial ladder, and he wants to have power over his life. And the way that Oz recruits Victor, I'm like, this is a slavery, isn't it? Because it's just like, "You're coming with me now. You're coming along or else you're gonna die." I'm like, I guess he just has a slave now. That's wild. Oh my goodness. Oz, you're insane. There's also Sofia. She's out from Arkham after 10 years. She hates Oz. She thinks that Oz shot her brother, which is a very astute observation because it is correct. But we get a show of Oz's skills to manipulate this table. We got a table full of these Falcones, and you got the family, and we got the head of the family, all that fun jazz. And Oz is there, and Sofia's there, and all those dudes, they're completely ignoring Sofia. They think she's crazy, so they don't at all listen to her correct a thing, knowing that Oz is behind this guy's death? Come on, man. I almost swore there. Oh, they don't listen to her at all because of their assumptions. I'm thinking the real lesson of this episode is if you are closed-minded and you don't listen, you will end up dead. Oz can really socially manipulate people. To his benefit, he could put himself down, put himself below the boss man, but then immediately turn around and tell Victor his plan to just overthrow everything. And it's pretty great. He's like, okay, the plan's going in motion, we're doing this, we're doing that. All that fun jazz. Returning to the soft side of Oz, he's visiting his mom. And his mom's like, you know, he should stay in the city. You're thinking about moving? Don't. And Oz is like, you know what? I'm going to overtake the city. I'm not going to let the Falcones have all the power. I'm going to take some of the power for myself. Okay? And I like that. He's taking control of, he has an objective, and it's very admirable. He also visits the Moroni head boss who's in jail. So I like how this episode establishes all the characters that we'll be focusing on, all the families that we'll be focusing on. We got the Moronis, we got the Falcones. Moronis and Falcones are rivals, and the Penguin, Oz, he's playing both of them. He goes to the Moronis, he's like, you know what, I'll get you that drug shipment that you'll love it, and we're gonna make a lot of money, all right? And then he talks to the Falcone, he's like, oh, that drug shipment, I'll help you out with it, okay? I'll make sure that nobody steals it. And I'm like, jeez. Yeah, he's a snake. If he weren't already a penguin, he would be called a snake. The serpent? There's a little bit of Oz torture, but that's quick. I like this episode. It really does a good job establishing the world. And I swear, I am enthralled. My eyes are glued to the screen until the very end of the episode when the credits roll. Then I'm like, that's it? Oh my goodness, I can't wait for next week because these are coming out on a weekly schedule. And I'm watching these week to week to week to week. This is a fun time. I really like this series. And I'm excited to know more about these characters and what they do. So I gotta give this, it's a solid 7.8 out of 10. If you like this review, watch another one on the platform you like, the $20 Dinos at patreon.com/ASEPresents for 1 movie review per 1 month. Go to this link to support the daily grind of all them daily movie reviews. So you can go here. And until next time, mint salad sauce, I'll see you later, my salad croutons and bacon bits. Woo!